everyone, Bernard here. Thanks for joining me for my little film and TV channel. Today we're going to look at a Netflix series, or a season as it is, and it's sort of second in a sequence, but there's no real links to the first of these, but it's a 9-episodic series and it's called The Haunting of Bly Manor. Please, if you're new to the channel, please push the subscribe button, push the bell notification so you know these vlogs are coming out. I do TV drama reviews and quizzes and information vlogs as well, so please push that. And of course, if you're into football, do check the playlist. You will see little playlists for my football team, Manchester City. I do Manchester City history and Manchester City present. So if you or anyone you know is interested in that, please, I'd be much appreciated if you get them to push that subscribe button. It'd be fantastic, thank you. And please, thumbs ups. I mean, comments are wonderful, views are wonderful, but if you haven't got time to leave a comment, please just give us a thumbs up. That'd be fantastic. Yeah, so a drama, horror, mystery, The Haunting of Bly Manor. A supernatural horror drama web television series, says Wikipedia, created by Mike Flanagan. It's loosely based on Henry James's 1898 novella that we've seen in various guises, made for TV, movies, actual movies, The Turn of the Screw. And it is a follow-up season or series to The Haunting of Hill House, and the second entry in the Haunting Anthology series. So we're going to get a few of these, a bit sort of American Horror Story-ish, I suppose, in a way. Obviously, I do love that series. It's quite Haunting of Hill House I liked. I did like the first one, but we'll talk about this one, won't we? We're talking about the... it's not a house anymore, this one. It's a manor, Bly Manor, there you go. The creative team and much of the cast of Hill House returned for this Bly Manor, but the two series narratives are obviously not really connected in any way. So what's it about? Well, after an au pair's tragic death, Henry hires a young American nanny to care for his orphan niece and nephew, who reside at Bly Manor, with the chef Owen, groundskeeper Jamie, and housekeeper Mrs. Gross, plus one or two other little characters. Stars Amelia B. Smith, Benjamin Evan Ainsworth, Henry Thomas, and again a few more in there. How's it doing? How's it doing on the rating? Well, Rotten Tomatoes like it. The critics seem to like it. It's got an 87% positivity rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Audience, yeah, not too bad. It's getting a 63% feedback rating from the audience, so not quite as enamoured as the critics are. On the Metacritic, which is the critics website, it's getting 62 out of 100, which isn't bad. It's had 16 critics have bothered to leave a review. There's 9 positive and 7 negative, so not totally overwhelming, isn't it? So even though it's getting obviously above average rating. And it scores anywhere between 4 out of 10 and 9.1 out of 10, so a vast range from the critics there. Lucy Mangum from The Guardian, she didn't particularly like it. She gave it 4 out of 10, and she said, if all you're up for is a relatively plotless bit of atmospherics, enjoy your time at Bly Manor. Fans of Hill House will have to hope for a return to the spooky form next time. So that doesn't bode well, doesn't it? But Brian Tellerico from the playlist, he gave it 7 out of 10. He was more impressed. He went on to say, did Mike Flanagan have to sacrifice the urgency of Hill House for the thematic historical richness of Bly Manor? That's going to be the dividing point in the conversation about which one is better. Well, I think I know which one is better. The Haunting of Bly Manor feels like a natural follow-up to Hill House in the sense that it's from a creator who's used the success of the first project to make something that's intrinsically less eager to please, but that also makes it less thrilling. The immediate stakes of the first projects are gone, but they're replaced by something that's still valuable and arguably more haunting. Well, I would have to disagree with Mr. Tellerico on that one. I found it very... I mean, the word haunting certainly didn't come into it had its moments, but it certainly didn't come into this series. The users obviously on Metacritic as well. They're only giving it a 4.9 rating, so that's less than half, with 8 positive and 9 negative reviews. Internet Movie Database, well, that's what we always look at, isn't it? That's Joe Public. Well, they're quite kinder to it, actually. I was quite surprised. Over 14,000 scores and reviews have left, and it's averaging 7.8 out of 10. It was actually 7.9 the day before I did this recording. I've just updated it just before I came on here with 4,000 less reviews. So it's gone down slightly, but there's still a lot of positivity about this series. And the actual episodes themselves score anywhere between 7.8 and 9, which does surprise me, but I'll talk about that in a minute. Some of the comments on Internet Movie Database. Lots of loose ends and failed plot lines, says Sydney Nicole Fraga on the 12th of October, who went on to say, it wasn't terrible, it wasn't amazing, the plot was incredibly slow for 75% of the series, and just at the end it was rushed, not the same thrill as its predecessor. This watchable, that was a headline from OzCube on the 12th of October. He wrote, this show is a cluster FUCK of ideas and stories, some of which are very good. Yeah, I mean, this is where the element of the American Horror Story comes into it as well. Victoria Pedressi's performance, however, is criminal, and she should be sued so that the actors and actresses would never again indulge in overly emotional facial expressions. Well, I've got another actor that took my eye as being pretty awful. I'll tell you about that in a moment. Some of the other comments, some of the other sort of just brief words. Slow, boring and disappointing, someone said. Love this series, said another. Engaging but not scary. Disappointing. Eerie, beautiful. More a drama than a horror. But obviously, if it's gonna get them sort of ratings, 7.8 out of 10. I mean, a lot of people do like it. They've just left a score and perhaps not a review, because I didn't find as many gushing reviews, perhaps as negative reviews. But that sort of seems to be the case at the moment. People are quite happy to leave a lower score and not comment. Right, my thoughts, Bernard's thoughts on this my movie game nostalgia thought. Well, initially, what a strange series this is. It, I mean, I would describe this. One of my favourite little sayings is a mishmash. And I would describe this as a mishmash of stories. Sometimes they come together pretty well. Sometimes they are slightly eerie and slightly scary, make you jump a little bit. But sometimes they're very repetitive and boring and don't really go anywhere, to be honest with you. And again, it's the same with the actors. I mean, I sometimes enjoyed the young actors in this. Other times I thought they were poor. So obviously, if there's something like this is not shot in order, perhaps obviously the younger actors gained a bit more confidence as the thing went on. So this is why you get a bit of an up and down with the acting, even within an episode, if you like. So I have to assume that that's what's happened with this. But overall, I mean, the little girl, the one who plays the little girl was pretty cute most of the time, so she got away with any discrepancies, to be honest with you. And again, as for the most experienced actors, again, well, some were better than others again, and there is one episode where, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to name names, aren't I? Amelia Eve is probably the weakest actor, I thought. Obviously, someone had another opinion before, but I thought she was terrible. And there was one episode where she's given like a 10 minutes chat for, where no one else gets a word in. She just rattles on for 10 minutes, and it was tough going because she is awful. I'm sorry, Amelia, but you're just not really up to it. And I'm not sure of the accent. I don't know where you were getting that accent from. I can appreciate where you're trying to hit, but obviously I don't think poor actors should be asked to do accents as well. It just doesn't work, and I'm afraid it did sort of. I think episode 4 or 5. Anyway, if you watch it, let me know what you think of it. But it was tough going for me. I've literally nearly fast forwarded through it. It was hard work. As I said, I was a big fan of Hill House. This not so much, unfortunately. The early episodes were very slow. I mean, I did speak to someone else just before I did this, and they'd only watched up to 3 episodes, and they were struggling. And I did, they were sort of asking my advice, and I was sort of saying, well, yeah, it does have its better moments, but yeah, it was hard going for the first 2 or 3 episodes, and then it did sort of buck up a little bit. It did improve, but then at times it became a little bit monotonous around episodes 4, 5 and 6. Some of the things they were doing, yeah, worked sort of once or twice, but they kept repeating the same thing, and it's all part of the plot, all saying the thing, but it does get a bit boring and monotonous. Beautifully shot. I mean, it is beautifully shot. I did enjoy the locations, etc. Obviously, it's mainly in the Manor, but I did enjoy the shooting, the cinematography of it all. But 9 episodes, it just felt far too long. I mean, possibly they could have done it tighter and better if they'd only reduced it down to 6 or something like that. But I can understand. I think Hill House was 10 episodes, wasn't it? And I think more or less kept up for 10 episodes, but this, I mean, 9 was far too long. And it does try to cover different genres as you're going through it. I mean, it goes from horror to drama to love story, and there's odd bits of other things thrown in between, but it never sort of hits the mark consistently. I am surprised at those ratings on Internet Movie Database between 7.8 and 9 out of 10. To be honest with you, I would have rated individual episodes probably anywhere between 5 out of 10 and 7 out of 10, to be honest with you, and even perhaps a couple less than 5, so I'm being quite kind there. I mean, there's plenty of deep and meaningful monologues from most of the actors, 3 or 4 of the actors, but again, rather than being interesting, I mean, it's just an adding to the story. It just seems to be there for the sake of it. Strangely enough, I did binge watch this, and I think it would work better if you don't binge watch it, to be honest with you, if you watch on a weekly basis, or if you watch a couple of episodes at a time, which doesn't quite work with 9 episodes because you're going to have an odd one. But yeah, it doesn't sort of work on a binge watch. It just becomes, to me, a little bit more monotonous. And to be honest with you, following on from Hill House, I just find the series a little bit up itself, and it possibly think it's smarter and cleverer than it actually is. And it's certainly, in my eye, Hill House wasn't there was faults with Hill House, but it's not even a patch on that. And of the 9 episodes, I possibly enjoyed 3 or 4 with 1 or 2 okay ones, but overall, I wouldn't say it was a fantastic series, and I'm going to buck the trend. I mean, obviously the critics seem to like it, Internet Movie Database seem to like it, but I'm going to give it that score where I wouldn't put you off watching it, because there are elements in it that are very, very watchable, but I'm only going to give this a score of 5.5 out of 10, so it's not great at all, but that's my opinion. I was just very, very disappointed, and as I say, there are elements to it that are good, and I sort of got dragged into a couple of episodes and quite liked it, but then it sort of went off again. So I just think they failed a little bit miserably compared to the Hill House episode. Anyway, I was just very disappointed. But if you've not watched Hill House, don't be put off watching that if you don't like this, because it is a little bit very, very different, as they do say. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please check my links on screen. If you follow or friend me on Facebook and Twitter, I do check every couple of days, and follow and friend everyone back on that. It'll be fantastic. If you can check out my little website, my day job, moviegamenostalgia.com, for old rare DVDs, movie posters from the 1990s and 2000s, some great films, some great actors, and some board games on there as well. And as I said before, if you can find someone, or if you're interested in football and you're interested in Manchester City, please check out my playlists for that as well. That would be fantastic. Anyway, I'm sorry I wasn't more excited on this one. As I say, I'm more or less in the minority, so as I say, you let me know in your comments what you think, but I was very disappointed. Anyway, thanks for watching. Whatever you're going to do with the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your family. More importantly, let's all look after each other. And until we meet again, another little film review or TV drama review, or a Netflix or an Amazon special, please stay safe, everyone. It's Bird saying goodbye for now. Thanks for watching.